Okay. Oh, that's my fault. That's my fault. Sorry, guys. Okay, so now I push to go live. And so live. Does everybody hear me and see me right? Guys in the chat, if you can tell me. Cheers, Matt, Jim from Whisky Novice, Dom. Who else? Luna was there. Can everybody hear me, see me well? And I will bring my guest then. Okay. Matt or Jim, can you just tell me if it's okay, please? Okay, I'm just waiting for this signal and I will... Okay, cool. Okay, so it works. So welcome to Greg's Whiskey Guide channel for a very special, like I said, cross-blind tasting. Cross because we're gonna both, me, Anthony and Nikki from New Dram Drinker and Johnny from Spirits People, try different samples. And we'll see what's going on and if there's some interesting relationship between the different tastings or not. But first of all, let me introduce my guests, starting with you, Dram Drinker. Hi. How you doing?
Hey, Greg.
And then, of course, hi. And Johnny is there as well. How you doing, Johnny?
How you doing, my friend?
So before saying anything, I would like to thank very much Johnny for playing the game because it is a blind tasting inspired by Johnny, of course, by its formula of tasting whiskey with someone else online, and there is some idea behind it to go even further than that, but I wanted to do step by step and to yeah. I don't have any, sorry guys, but I have some coins here. Yeah, it was inspired by the idea and wanted to gather you guys because I like what you do, and I'm gonna let you in a moment introduce yourself. But first of all, you're starting by the last one, right? Kidding.
I'm getting curious.
No. We're gonna start by the one from Anthony and Nikki, if you're okay with that, Johnny.
Oh yeah.
But okay. But first of all, yeah. So the idea was to taste a sample. I'm gonna try first New Dram Drinkers one. Thank you, by the way, all you guys, because you accepted to work with kind of tasting sheet I made initially for Anthony and Nikki to help them assess the whiskies. It's a simplified one compared to mine, which are here, but I can't really show you because you don't have to see what's written inside. It's my 2 drams. So it kind of simplified grid. There's nothing mandatory in it. It's just to help us put into the paper our impressions. And for me, the challenge is even bigger because I'm going to try to write everything and tell you everything in English, which sounds obvious to you. But initially, I'm writing in French and thinking in French. So apologies if I have some translation problems, but I will try to do my best. So yeah, can you, in a Parisian order, introduce yourself, please, Anthony and Nikki, and tell for those who doesn't know your channel yet? Really? What you do and what's your motto, and where you just in a few 1 or 2 minutes, please. What's your channel?
Yeah, our channel is New Dram Drinker. It's designed to help new people getting into whiskey to kind of just get a foothold on the kind of nosing it, tasting it, enjoying it, and just trying to do it in as much of an entertaining way as we possibly can. Have stupid things pop up from the bottom of the screen and have a bit of fun and a laugh.
Oh, no, not so stupid.
Well, you know, it's just in a joke, you know, just a fun way, and just try and keep it a little bit more light-hearted than maybe it can get if you get too deep into it too quickly kind of thing.
We're trying to bring you into our journey.
Yeah, and try
Into
and
whiskey.
echo yours at the same time, and maybe guide you down a certain beginner's path kind of thing. Maybe to one day be as good as you guys who are here with.
Oh, no. I'm just a beginner, me, and I do no editing.
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Very admiring what you do, the very clever and funny editing, and also I like people might not know because you've been more into tasting notes recently, but you have wonderful reports about your local distilleries, Forest Distillery and Bimber Distillery. So I recommend you guys check out their videos and the others as well, of course. Also I'm biased if I advise the new series about pouring, drinking with friends, but
some
it's
familiar
a nice
faces in there, isn't there, Greg?
And where can people find you, Anthony and Nikki, outside YouTube? Can you tell?
Instagram, Twitter, just type in New Dram Drinker, you'll find us all over the place.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, so basically that's it, mate. Yeah, we're all over many social medias, all under the New Dram Drinker banner. So just look for us on there.
Thank you. How about you,
Anthony,
John?
in a dark alley?
Introduce yourself, my friend.
Your turn, Jono.
Yeah, please.
Bonjour,
Whoa.
je m'appelle Johnny.
Ah, fantastic. You trained yourself. Good. Go ahead.
So yeah, my name is Johnny, and I run Spirits People, which is kind of I guess similar to what you guys are saying, Nikki and Anthony, just kind of a transparent journey for me, sharing where I'm at the moment, and a lot of it is blind tasting, as you mentioned, Greg, and very much appreciate that I'm invited to this. So again, thank you very much for that.
I'm honored to have you.
So my journey started about 10 years ago. I was predominantly a bourbon drinker, but I've since, I guess, over the past maybe 4 years, maybe even less, kind of expanded a little bit into every other spirit, hence the name Spirits People rather than Bourbon People. It's kind of under the banner of the curious drinkers is kind of part of what I talk about. Is just curiosity in general, and learning about tastes and your preferences, rather than thinking about what kind of spirit you're drinking and what kind of brands that you like, and just try to simplify it a little bit more, and just trying to figure out what it is that people like and why they like it. That's my journey.
But there's a geeky side of you I like as well. As you're preparing a certification, could you tell us quickly about your WSET you're working on?
Sure. So WSET, so the Wine and Spirits Education Trust, they do courses in both spirits and wine, and I've chosen to take just the spirits courses that they offer. They have 4 levels. Right now, they actually only have 3 levels. You can take 4 levels, but to get the 4th level, you have to take it combined with the wine path, which is more of a kind of sommelier path, if you will. But yeah, they also started to release just the spirits courses. So the level 3 I've signed up for, and I'll be doing that course over the summer. I was meant to do it right now, actually, or in February, but unfortunately, I've taken a new job, so I've been quite busy. So I had to push it out a little bit just to give me enough time to study.
Johnny, did you see they were hiring? Sorry to interrupt you. They were hiring teachers right now. Did you see that?
I did not.
You could ask, but if you found a job.
Yeah, my job is very different than this. Although I would love to work in the industry someday. But yeah, for now it's just
you will manage that.
Very deep.
Guys, I'm gonna quickly salute again people from the chat, and then we're gonna start our tasting. So let me go back a bit and salute Luna Aaron, which is a pillar in many chats and supports many YouTube channel. Kudos for you. Yeah, like you said, for Luna. Hello, Spirits Works, Tom. Whisky Pilgrim, Frederick, good to see you there. And as well, we can do that. Paul and Jim from Whiskey Novice, a great channel. He did a fantastic review of Springbank Cast Strength, 12 years old today. He posted with the explanation of the process, which is very brave, the 2.5 points. And also we have Matt from Ear Whiskey that manages to meet Charles McLean. I'm gonna give us an interview of the man, yeah, the man. So looking very much forward to that. Okay. Okay, are you ready?
You want to drink some whiskey, Greg?
Come on.
Come on.
Whiskey Wednesday.
I want to see how close you get to ours.
Sorry?
I want to see how close you get to ours. To guessing
Oh,
it.
close, you mean like this?
There we go.
That'll do.
Yeah, because it's the, I don't have many coins, honestly. I cannot purchase through PayPal once again, so I try to support as I can people. This is...
Don't mind if we drink along with you, do you?
Yeah, this is the one from... we're starting, if it's okay with everyone, with the one from Anthony and Nikki. Is it this one really, Johnny?
Yep.
Because for me, in the image, it appears much darker.
Yeah.
No, it is quite light. It's probably dark in the room.
as well.
Yeah, it's a bit dark.
Yeah, I
But
think it's just
maybe
your
the
lighting.
lighting of each one.
Different lighting.
Yeah, it's the French lighting. Doesn't
Yeah,
do it any
I had
favours.
to put additional lighting, otherwise it's very dark here. Okay, so first of all, cheers, guys, and thank you for being there with me. I appreciate it very much. Cheers.
Cheers, Greg.
Cheers.
Thanks for the invitation.
You're very welcome. Okay, on the nose, what do we got? And before the nose, there's something that can be interesting, and Johnny often points out this, the legs and the tears.
Mm.
With
Yeah.
my bad camera, yours, Johnny, will be better, I think. So what you see? Me, I can see something already.
A little bit.
So yeah, so for now it's only Johnny and me, I guess, and you will make us guess, Anthony and Nikki, right? So for me, the tears, the legs are not standing too much where they are. So that means it's not a high proof whiskey. Then they're not leaving a lot of bits and stuff, so it's not very fat as well. Speaking under control of Johnny, maybe about that. I don't know if you agree.
I'll disagree. I'll disagree with the proof because I think it is a higher proof, but
Oh, really?
I think it will depend on the palate because it is quite aromatic.
Okay, I haven't really nosed it. It's just on the legs, judging by the legs.
Yeah, just viscosity. Yeah, like a medium plus for me.
What proof would you go for, Johnny?
What's that?
Okay,
What proof would you go for?
Ooh, just nosing it.
You can come back to it when you've tried it if you want.
48.
let me.
Maybe.
No, I will go for 43 or 46 maximum, but rather 40 to 43 for me.
Yeah, I think it's
When
just.
do you want me to tell you?
Sorry?
When do you want me to tell you?
No, not
Yeah.
yet.
Okay.
I didn't heard what Johnny said. Sorry.
No, I think just the volume of the nose is quite big. So I think it's under 50, but I think it's
Okay.
maybe 46, 48.
It's good on the nose.
Well, before telling how much it is, what you get on the nose, I'd like to know, guys. Well, Johnny mainly and me, but then you can tell us, of course, after us, Anthony and Nikki.
More than welcome. More than happy to.
I struggle to take notes, so I'd rather say it,
Yeah.
as I had still some on the sample. For me, there's some flowers. There's vanilla. I think there's probably some orchid fruit, yellow fruits.
Yeah.
some quince, some citrus, but there's something else. Sounds like being herbal, but there's something almost chemical added to it. I don't know.
I think it's slightly briny, but only
Yeah,
like
maybe. Yeah. I agree.
a tiny little bit of sea salt in there. I think there's some, orchard fruit. I think for me, it's like a baked pear. It's kind of very warm, but very dense and sugary on that pear note.
Yeah, when I said geeky, a slight parenthesis, Johnny went up to the tasting cooked fresh apples, and there were pears, there are other stories. What else? There were several videos, especially on tasting baked or fresh fruits and stuff. And that was amazing.
Yeah.
I think we've established that I'm a nerd.
Yeah. Luna is risking
or a teacher.
a Talisker option. Well, that could go for the briny, but I get no smoke. So if it's a Talisker, it might be a single cask that's less peated than the others, which is possible in my experience. I want to go to Glen Scotia, but at the same time, that little maybe green element pushes me to Loch Lomond. So I'm a bit confused.
I
don't know, Johnny, what you think?
I don't think you're far off with the Glen Scotia. I think it's kind of that dirty malt sensation.
Yeah, something dirty. Yeah, the word I
raw.
missed.
So it could be a Campbelltown or something like a Mortlach or something that's maybe taken a wider cut.
But I'll go for a single malt. We didn't say that. What do you think, Johnny? It's a single malt or a blended malt?
I think it's a single malt. I think there's too much character for it to be a blend.
Yeah, it's blend or blended malt is different. Blended whiskey or blended malt. Blended malts might have a lot of character.
True.
Some Douglas Lang or Compass Box, for instance, and also what did I try recently that was very amazing for a blended malt? Forgot the name. Sorry. I will go with you, Johnny's single malt.
Can I ask you a question?
Maybe small batch or single cask, but okay. Shall we taste now and then guess after that?
Let me ask you a question first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a non-age statement. So
Okay.
how old would you think it is? Look,
Without tasting,
you can taste it and then let us know.
I will give you both.
Okay.
Without tasting, I will say it could go up to 14, 15 years old, probably not more, but I will go for 8.
Okay.
It's hard to tell without tasting, but sometimes.
Yeah, it is. I think it could be on the young side because it is a little bit grainy on the nose.
Yeah,
the grain definitely comes through.
8 to 12, I will say. Hi, Daniel. Daniel is joining on the stat. Rock Oyster was a good guess from Matt, but I don't get that smoky elements, Matt. I have a bottle home. I love it, but I don't get those smoky elements. So I won't go for this one, but it was interesting to propose this one because for the other elements, briny and floral and fruity, it could work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's try it now, guys. Cheers. Or Slanjeva or whatever.
Skål.
It can be for every country, right?
Yeah.
Tonight.
It's licorice.
Nice. A bit peppery, herbal, floral. The peppery side will go for Glen Scotia again, but I think it's not because sounds more like not Northern Highlands, but I'll say space cider, a bourbon space cider, bourbon barrels matured space cider of maybe feeling distillery.
Do you know how hard it is to not say anything? I so want to go.
I will know it soon.
Oh, yeah. I'm sitting there like this. I'm literally sitting on my hands.
So do you enjoy being on your side, Nikki?
Yeah, it's much better.
It's so interesting, like hearing your journey. You know, when you go, oh, this, oh, and now this, oh, and then you guys are just throwing words out that we've got written down. It's just like I'm loving the whole your journey as you like taste it.
It's made for exchange.
Go, oh, and it's so
like
good.
I said, guys, it's not a competition. It's a friendly contest
so
to exchange ideas.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy.
You said there was a prize.
A surprise.
People had.
By the way, Luna asks, hazards, it might be not a Scotch, but I don't think. I think it's a Scottish single malt, and oh, my English is so bad. Well seated in his highlands or space sides, and then you're going to tell me it's lowlands legs, and saying I have herbal notes, I have citrus notes, I have fruits, I have everything you want, but on the bourbon
doing
side.
So well.
Sorry,
you really are. You both of you are just.
Would you say?
Like amazed. You are doing so well.
Do you think it's bourbon cask though, Greg? Because I get a lot of get raisins and stuff.
Let me check.
Maybe a port cask or a second sherry or something.
Okay. Well, there's some spice. Let's say additional spice.
You can still see my smile, though, can't you, my cheeks?
If it's a port, it's really on the spicy side, not on the candied fruity side. I'm gonna do a special series about finishes, and by the way, so it's interesting. It's another side of port if it's port.
Yeah, maybe not port. Maybe second fill sherry. I don't think it's. If it's sherry, it could be a second fill PX. I don't think it's.
Yeah. The problem, Johnny, is this a single cask or a small batch?
Yeah.
If it's a single cask that's finished, it's even more complicated in something else.
Yeah, I'll go as far as to say that it's not a single cask, because I don't think the cask is strong enough. But who knows?
Now I'm changing from 46 to 48% maybe. And I will risk a Glenallachie with a finish, but I'm not sure of the finish. First guess without water, and I will add water now. But I'm not sure of the Glenallachie. I will rather go for an independent Royal Bracla, or maybe, I don't know. Balmenach, no, it's too sweet for a Balmenach.
Will you tell us your overall views of it before we tell you the deets? Like, are you enjoying it? Is it pleasant?
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, I would say it's nice. It's a bit too peppery for me, but I will try with water to see what it becomes. It's a bit short. It's a bit aggressive, but at the same time, it has some nice qualities, fruity and floral qualities. So it can compete. It can compete with others. Then after, it's a matter of age, price, etc., to see if it's a really interesting dram. But in itself, it's a pleasant thing, and it's a good thing as a starter.
Yeah,
it's a nice.
This is why it's on our shelf.
Yeah, I'm going to say I haven't drunk this for a while. I really enjoyed drinking this tonight.
Did you review it
more than I remember? Yeah.
Did you review it on your channel, guys?
I'm not telling you that.
Okay.
That is cheating.
Cheating.
Okay. I'm not gonna check. I don't have the time to check or remember everything.
No, we haven't.
Are you sure?
I don't think we have.
Are you sure?
No, we haven't. I don't think we have.
I think we might have done. Yeah.
No.
I think it's older than 12 years.
No.
Yeah, with water, I agree now.
It's actually it has a subtle complexity.
Bit like myself.
14 or 16 years old now.
14 maybe, yeah.
14.
We can't answer that because it's
not
Yeah,
non-age
they said
statement.
non-age stated, so
Yeah.
you won't know.
So you said no age statement, but
Yeah.
yeah, well, we might know about it if we heard of it. But no age statement. Okay. Would it be a Glengarry, maybe? A Glengarry at 48% with a name?
Is that a guess?
I guess, yeah.
No.
Okay.
I won't be able to get. I don't know that many scotches, so I have no idea.
Oh.
Let's have a guess at the percentage. I'll tell you who's closest.
Okay, yeah. So I say 48 ABV. What do you say, Johnny?
46.
Okay.
Gone down after tasting it.
Johnny wins. 46 on the nose.
Okay.
Okay.
Prize.
Is it a single
People-
malt?
I think it's a single malt, but I have something telling me it could be a blended malt, but I would say it's sorry, I don't have the time to answer yet to the chat, but I will at some point. Thank you guys for following. It's not Talisker, says Matt. I don't think it's Talisker,
No.
right? Yeah.
It's not that briny actually on the palate.
No, and I removed my Glen Scotia guessing as well. I don't think it's a Glen Scotia now. It's too much Speyside or Highlander for that.
I think
But yeah, go ahead.
I think it's Highland. I think it is a single malt actually. It's very malty on the palate. I keep changing my mind on the age. I think now it's down to 10 or 12.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's non-chill
Honestly.
filtered.
Put them out on this one.
Natural colour.
It's non-chill filter.
Yeah.
It's an indie bottling.
Do you
May
want me
we
to tell
know
you
it's-
what it is?
No, do this bit first.
No, just if it's an indie bottling or off.
But you guys are good.
Yeah.
Highland single malt. You guys
Oh.
are good.
Very good.
Okay.
You are
Do you know
good.
about the barrels? Any ideas? There's two
No, just
barrels.
Okay, that's why. I will guess it's a Cadenhead bottling.
No, but I could see why you would say that.
Very
Yeah.
precise on some notes. Oh, Classic Laddie says Whiskey Novice. Oh my God. That's why there's so much pepper. Could be.
Mm.
It's not my favorite Brook Laddie, honestly.
Not if it's a Highland.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want
We
me to tell
saved.
you want me to tell you one of the barrels?
I think one of the barrels is a sherry cask.
Not
Me,
far.
I said bourbon or Hogshead.
You both haven't hit it on the head.
Not quite.
Oh
Neither
no.
of
But you
those are-
kind of.
Mature.
Okay, I'll tell you the barrels. Okay, so the first one is a Black Isle Brewery Imperial Stout barrel.
Oof.
That's
Okay.
why it's so
That might be
malty
the
on the
other
palate.
something.
That's the maltiness.
Yeah.
Do you get
Oh
that,
my
Greg? All that maltiness on the palate?
Mm.
Tricky.
Yeah. The other barrel, and I'm going to try and pronounce this right and correct me if I've got it wrong. Bacaloa, Moscatel, de Setúbal wine cask.
Oh my God, it's hard. Oh, it's a real
Hey, you
trick.
didn't say we had to pick an easy one.
No. Very good. I'm proud of you.
Interesting one.
Yeah.
But I didn't get the wine. That's why I'm surprised. Often with Moscatel, you have a red fruit, very winey side, almost bubble gum, and very. I don't know.
But in the nosing and the palates, red fruits don't come through.
No. Not
So
at all.
on the
No, I
nosings and the
think that-
palates, they're not. So actually, you guys were closer to the actual what you're nosing and tasting.
But then Nikki must be the distillery character that erases a bit those things. And for that, it has to be young for me,
Yeah.
8 or 10 years old.
You
But
guys
it's
did a
a nice-
really good job.
Yeah.
You said it's an NAS, right?
Do you
Yeah.
want to know what it is?
Or do you want us to
not
talk
yet.
you through nosing?
Johnny,
and
let's
palates?
have a last guess, Johnny.
Do the nose and
Have a
palates.
last guess.
Do the nose and
I have no
palates.
The
clue.
breath.
No clue.
They might not get it.
Um, So you said it's a Scotch and it's a Highland.
Yeah.
Old Pulteney.
I won't go for Kleinlich. I won't go for Old Pulteney either.
Up here, far above you.
I have no idea, honestly. I give up.
You might not know it. It might be one.
You too, Johnny?
I'm clueless. I wouldn't know where to start.
Okay, you got us.
Would you-
Congrats.
Do you like it or not? Yes, no.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
Not maybe my favorite, but with water, I like it better.
It opens up.
What a suspense. Oh, Tomatin Cuboken?
Cuboken.
No. Cuboken
Yeah,
is supposed to be peated.
There's a smoke.
because of smoke.
Yeah.
Oh
I can
my god, I
definitely
didn't
get the
get the
smoke.
peat.
But I think that's because obviously I'm at the start of my smoky peaty journey. But it's sweet smoke for me. It's really nice.
What's the number? Because there were series, experimental
Yeah,
series.
Number one.
Oh, it's Creations #1, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Shall
I
I
don't
tell
know
you
if
the
I
bits
can
that
get
you
the
did a really good job on? The bits you did a really
No,
good
bad,
job on.
because we didn't get the peat.
No, no.
Doesn't say Pete, to
It
be
says
honest.
smoke.
Yep.
It says soft
Okay,
smoke.
well, probably.
On the nose. So on the
okay.
nose, it's creamy like vanilla. You
Mm.
talked about the botanical, the florals.
Yeah.
That's there. They also said there's some herbs like parsley and coriander, which I didn't get. Smoke, and then all the citrus fruits, grapefruits, tangerines, limes.
Oh my
There's
God.
also rich almond and aniseed. And Johnny, you said
Okay.
licorice, which I always see
Oh, yeah.
aniseed as licorice.
It's
yeah,
hard.
always.
It's very hard.
Mhm.
Hi, Daniel. Hi. Who else? Daniel is on board.
Yeah.
Well, Daniel, we just had a new Dram Drinker blind, and we and Johnny tried to guess it, and it was very hard to guess. And
Your notes were good.
it appeared to be a Tomatin Cuboken Creations #1 with Moscatel, you said finish, and Black Isle Imperial Stout. Very hard.
Wow.
And I hadn't tried. I think I had done the Creations #2, which is a completely different recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So
that's
well
more
done.
smoky one.
Yeah, but on the palate,
well
all
done,
the
guys.
spices came through, and you all said the spices and the pepper and the cinnamon, all of
That's
those kind of things.
I hope that wasn't too hard.
We think you did a really
You did
good
really
job.
well, to be honest.
It was good.
Really good.
You did
Well,
really
thank
well.
you. But it was very interesting. Even if I don't guess, I love doing this.
Yeah.
I do that with friends. There's always surprises and something to learn with in it.
Cool.
So, okay, now
Oh,
very
good.
curious of what Johnny picked for us. My God, with a nonsense whiskey coin this time.
Oh, hang on a minute. Let me just get this. Oh, hang on.
Oh,
Let me just.
Oh, I don't have one yet.
If we need some water as well.
oh.
Literally got the whole set.
Project placement. Oh, I should have put my t-shirt.
Well, mine is here.
We've got yours as well, Greg. Don't worry.
Oh,
Right,
thank
right.
you.
Here we go.
Just having some water and oat cakes. Oat cakes is the best friend of a taster. Guys, you have to know that.
We're actually really nervous about
We're
this.
so
'cause
nervous.
I think we've only done one
Oh.
blind tasting on Johnny's channel before.
Oh no, I love watching his blind tasting. He
He's
does.
awesome.
And they have
Little
some
bit too awesome.
whiskies in there.
We're just going to get a cracker just to cleanse out.
And me preparing to work on Johnny's one. And still I have this down, but I'm not going to note a lot of things. I have to do it really straight out of the bat.
I hope I poured the right one because we did these so long ago.
Really?
If we
You
can
see,
have
there's
like,
still a difference of color, my friend.
I think if me
There
and you
is.
can have a couple of hours just to enjoy it, and then we should be able to pick out a few things.
Oh. Oh, are we changing continent? Something tells me already yes. Oh, hi, Drops Drama, welcome on board. We didn't rate it. That's a good idea. Sorry about that. Let me take the first one. About the tomatin, I would have say silver for me. On the we use a new Dram Drinkers scale tonight of scoring, which is guys from rubbish, bronze, silver, gold to epiphany, right? Rubbish, bronze, silver, gold, and epiphany. So I will say silver for the first one. I don't know what you say, Johnny.
Yeah, silver.
I agree with that.
Cool. Bonus.
Now it's the turn for those who join us just now. Hi. Of the blind tasting from Johnny for both Anthony, Nikki, and me. So we're going to see what's going on there. Same test. We're going to try first to see viscosity. Oh, very nice legs. Beautiful. I wish I had the camera to catch that, but mine is not precise enough. I don't know about yours. If you can show, Johnny, your camera is very good. If you can show it, it doesn't.
I'll show you mine, but it's absolutely pointless.
Oh, you will use that, really?
We're going blind.
It's tough. Thank you, Johnny. But it's hard to see. Honestly, it's very hard. Well, this one has a lot of viscosity for me. The legs doesn't go down quickly. It's beautiful, honestly. If you had a special close-up camera. So I will guess it is not chill filtered. We didn't talk about that. The tomatin is chill filtered, right?
Non-chill filtered.
Oh, non-chill filtered. Okay, good.
Non-chilled, natural color, and non-age.
Yeah. I would say the same for this one. Just judging on the legs and maybe some age. Wow. The legs, it's a great spectacle to see how the whiskey goes down. Okay. Shall we go on the nose, Anthony, Nikki?
Let's do it.
Ooh, I got a lot of vanilla.
Yeah, definitely.
Caramel. Something tells me immediately it's a bourbon family.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, okay, we know also that Johnny loves that above everything, probably. So it's not very difficult, but is this all right? Good question. Hi, Chris, who's on board. And Chris, you're sitting on the last, on my last, oops. Oh, always, you have your coin somewhere here. I will show it. There. Okay, forget it. You saw it. I love the nose. The nose is very healthy, very quiet. And there's something rye in it, yeah. For me, that's a proportion of rye. Ooh.
It's quite inviting, isn't it?
I think
really
it's quite elegant.
Beautiful
there's a you know, like a quiet confidence.
There's something familiar
like
here for me.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Some oak coming in, but very integrated.
It's not as strong on the nose as I thought. It's not coming across as a high ABV.
Oh, that's some beautiful wax. There's some red fruit on the background. A little sourness, but very nice.
I'm thinking sour, not sweet. Yeah.
Something tells me immediately smooth ambler, but I might be wrong. Because I love the smooth ambler contradiction.
I would say this is a real classic.
Like a brand.
There's like to me, this feels like it's not a punch you in the face.
No, it's not.
You know, it's like that subtle.
For me, it's
subtle. That's not the right word.
No, I agree with you. I agree.
It's like
I completely agree with you, Nikki. Yeah.
Like a
it's
solid,
beautiful.
Elegant.
Solid, like Johnny likes to say, solid.
Yeah.
Solid and classy, I would say. It's a gold nose already.
Yeah,
It's not classic. Classic.
You know,
there's something very confident.
Yeah.
I would say it's a bourbon with a decent proportion of rye, but I might be wrong. We'll see on the. Yeah, hi Guillaume. You sent me a cast strength.
It's bourbon. It's not an obvious bourbon to me.
Sample.
It's very classic.
And a bottle of 4 years old.
Makes me think.
Beautiful. Could be that 4 years old, by the way, at 49.5. I don't know.
It's not You might
I
be
didn't hear
surprised
you.
on the
Look
ABV.
at that little smile.
I think you're all gonna be very surprised.
Oh, okay. So should we? Oh, my screen is freezing. Damned. I hope. Okay.
Just get like obviously the bourbon notes. Like
Should I ask then
I do, but
if it's
There's almost
from
like a dusty-
North America, Johnny?
I
Sorry?
feel like there's a
Is it from North
dustiness.
America?
I can
May
tell you
ask
if you want to know.
Sorry?
It's not making a difference to me if you tell me if it's North American or South American or Mid American.
So what do you say, Johnny?
It's
I don't know
It's
American.
not
enough, yeah.
It is.
I didn't-
It is from North America. Yes,
Okay, thank you. That's what I guessed.
Yeah.
but
There's a
it has a
dustiness.
twist.
It's from Canada.
We know
Okay, so it's
when
American
in
with
vial,
a kind of
and
other
the
kind of
riding
barrels
through
that
the- in the glass.
they use usually, maybe a European finish, something like that. European cask finish, port, Madeira, whatever. We'll see.
Isn't it
Okay.
the grain? The grain feels just like a dusty grain, you know, like a.
Like an old-
But I love the nose. The nose is fantastic.
If that, I think maybe that's.
Shall
what's
I
making it
guess,
so spicy.
guys? Shall we guess an ABV and tell it to Johnny before?
I,
Not,
think, you see,
No idea.
I know what I think I want to say, but now he said that we'll be surprised. It's making me go,
I think
in
it's
my
an,
head.
I think it's a classic. I want to say an old whiskey, but I don't know about ABV.
Or are we going to be surprised because it's like 40%? And
No,
because it's not
I'd
what
be
it usually
really
goes
surprised
for.
if it was.
I will say 50 to a bit more.
Yeah, I'd be really
might be
surprised
wrong.
if it was 40%.
I wouldn't go that high.
Might be wrong.
I don't think it's 40%.
It'll be
It's
easier to tell on the palate.
Okay.
But it
Yeah.
makes me feel like it's a real. This is what I'm saying. So that it's not a punch in your face kind of nose. So that's what makes me feel like it's really
Mm.
classic, a really good brand,
Yeah.
like really well. Maybe it's a well aged.
I'm going to say off the nose, 40.
8, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Oh, Luna says we're speaking too much at the same time.
It's okay.
Let's
We're
take
so
turns.
excited.
Yeah. Daniel says Elijah Craig, but I don't know yet. I have to try on the palate. I'm making it last because I like the nose a lot.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know if Jenny
beautiful,
goes for- why would you-
Okay.
We're going-
Well, we're not gonna.
We're
Can you
going-
taste it?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Okay. Let's taste it. Cheers. Cheers, everyone in the chat. Mm.
Ooh,
Wow, that
that's
grows.
full. That's really full flavoured.
Still got that mustiness comes
Yeah.
through.
There's a
Cask
slight
strength.
spice.
It definitely grows.
Slight spice.
Definitely grows on the palate.
Woof.
Yeah, spices.
Yeah, the spices are
Light,
coat,
yeah.
mouth
Yeah,
coating,
nice.
etc.
But the vanilla's still there as well, and the sugariness.
It's a proper, to quote you, solid. It
Yeah.
feels like a solid whiskey. There's nothing airy-fairy, floaty.
I have some coffee
Alcohol.
note now. That's
It's
weird.
easy
I've
to
Yeah.
drink.
The alcohol
never had
doesn't
that in the US.
snap with it. It's all flavour.
There's a special finish there, something
Mm.
like that, tricky. Okay, I'm happy because I might have been tricky as well. So everyone's been tricky
I
tonight.
get like almost like a little bit of like a black currant.
I'm thinking red fruits.
Yeah, like a black
Like
currant.
but not sweet.
I
Yeah.
love this
I was gonna
coffee
say
note.
plum, but it's been a long
Very
time since I've
strange.
eaten a plum. You know, like that.
So everything is natural, right? No, the US they don't have the right to put caramel and stuff. They don't have the right to put additives on it, right, Johnny?
Bourbon, you cannot.
Bourbon.
Like bourbon is specific. Yeah, I mean,
If it's American whiskey, you can.
yeah, there's different levels of rules. Like bourbon is the most strict. But yeah, there's base level where you can add a bunch of stuff. You just can't. You
Okay.
can't just use the labels. So yeah, bourbon is quite strict. If it's not a bourbon, you can add stuff. You just can't call it bourbon.
The finish
Well, let
is
me
so
try it
good.
again without water, and then I will.
It's quite a heavy whiskey.
Yeah.
Like
it's like
it's
that-
not unpleasant to drink at all,
No.
but it's like rich and heavy,
Mm.
like solid. I think that's why I keep coming back to the solid.
It's got quite a good viscosity.
Can be
It
virginal.
lines your mouth.
If it was a wine, I would say it was full-bodied. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so much
Hi,
flavour.
Daniel.
Nice,
That's the finish.
nice little tingle.
Oh, yeah,
I think it's quite drying. I feel like it's quite drying for the finish. The finish is really long, really heavy. I'm going to say fruits, but I think it's more like red fruits, but not sweet ones. So I'm thinking plums. You said blackcurrant. I could see that.
something very weird in the
Yeah.
finish, in the good way.
It's got
Or like red currant. You know, like not blackcurrant.
Well,
You know, like a
just for Daniel, sorry, Daniel, who just joined us, we had the first dram to guess from New Dram Drinker, me and Johnny, and it was a tomatin. And now we're trying a second one that Johnny picked for us.
I think there's some wood there as well.
It's got
And
the
then you
similar
have two others.
palate to the Macmora and
Wow.
Dutchline. That black colour.
It's,
But without the smoke.
Yeah, there's no smoke.
can I say, Johnny, that the nose is very different from the palate?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
It's like two different
Yeah.
whiskies completely.
Yeah, definitely.
Because on the nose, I will say a bourbon with some part of rye. And on the palate,
Yeah.
I feel like you said a finish, maybe because you told us, so it's influencing us. It's a bit, but it's something, if it's a finish, it's something I think I don't know, or I
I
haven't
think it's
come
like
across
the
It's a
red,
wine.
winey.
Yeah, definitely a
the
wine.
deep red fruit.
Yeah.
I won't go for a wine. PX maybe, but it's this coffee note doesn't match with it. So I'm very intrigued, and
It's really interesting.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
it's not like
It is.
dried fruits. It's not sweet.
I have no idea, honestly.
It is almost like when you've had a meal and you've had like a glass of wine with your meal and had a coffee after. And you've got like the
Okay,
two that mix
let's-
together.
Open it up.
That's
Maybe water will tell us more about it.
Do you guys want hints?
Yeah, what
Just
is it?
one.
Just put me one or two.
I'm gonna try with water, but go ahead. Yeah, please, Johnny.
So it is from North America, but it's not a bourbon and it's not a rye.
Ah, it's a single malt.
No.
Is it a single malt?
It is a single malt, yes.
Ah,
Johnny's trying to...
doesn't smell like Westland, so I won't go for Westland. Probably one from Texas I have never heard of. That would be great if it was a Balcones, because I never had a Balcones. Ah, it is.
Johnny's thinking you have now. No?
No, I won't tell. Okay, let's try it a bit more.
It's not like the blue
I think there's definitely a woody taste.
Hmm.
The water opens it out a lot.
You don't do coffee finishes, so what is that?
There's a lot of coffee in that finish. A lot of coffee beans, dark chocolate.
Could it be chocolate malt, like for the Glenmorangie Signet? Yeah. So might be a Westland then. They would have a special recipe focused more on chocolate malt, but it could be also a single malt. I don't know. Maybe an iron root, or which is very trendy now. And you have probably access to those by swapping samples, Johnny.
I'm trying to think what whiskies I know rather than what I think it is.
What do you think, Anthony, Nikki? You're lost like me?
Yeah, totally.
I'm just
I
trying to
wouldn't be able to
think.
pick a name
I'm
anyway.
trying to think of the brands I know that come from up there rather than what I think it
Do you
actually
want to guess the? Do you want to guess the ABV?
Yeah, I will say
I think it's big. Yeah.
on the nose, I will have said 50. Now on the palate, I would say 55,
But because
57.
it's easy to drink, it's gonna be aged.
56.
But might be the
It's easy to
cask,
drink.
rick house and stuff, very hot. So that's why I'm talking also about Texas. I might be wrong.
Yeah. I'm gonna say around
56, 58, but could be 60 as well.
Mm. It's 54.4.
Oh, okay.
54.4.
That's going to be aged.
Was
because
not
it's
so far.
so easy to drink. It's nice.
Close. Very
My
close.
Yeah.
So,
Non-chill-filtered,
is it a single cask?
non-chill filtered, single cask,
Oh, that's why.
single malt.
The ABV says something specific and not a core range stuff.
I don't
Oh my
know.
God. Frederick says Rye Armageddon by Corsair. What a name for a whiskey. Fantastic name. Thanks. Thanks, Luna. But you see that I have my limits tonight.
Let me know when you guys want the big reveal.
Our knowledge is very.
Okay, I have frankly, I have no idea. I think I have never tried this. Thank you for letting us try this because it's beautiful.
That's 2 whiskies that you've had that have been different, isn't it? That's good.
Yeah. I
So,
prefer with a few drops of water. It mellows a bit down, still keeps its coffee note. And the malty side, now I understand why it's... But I guess there's some chocolate malt in it or something that enhances that.
There's definitely the signet note that you mentioned, Greg.
Yeah, or
That's
spice tree.
Yeah, it's definitely in there.
Yeah.
It's very
Go
nice.
ahead, Jenny, tell us.
Whatever it is, it'll be on our shelf soon.
So, Greg, this might actually be familiar to you because this is a French release.
No.
Which is why I wanted to share it. So this is the 60th anniversary
Ooh,
of whiskey.
fantastic. So I said Westland, I was not far. Oh, cask.
Spot on.
Oh my God,
Never
cask
even-
397.
Never even heard
Wow.
of that.
And that's an empty
Maybe it
bottle.
was-
I'm guessing you like that.
It's so
Nearly empty.
Yeah, very
solid.
nice pick, Johnny. Fantastic stuff. So what's for la Maison du Whisky? Amazing.
Yeah, 60th anniversary bottling of Westland from La Maison de Whisky, Paris.
How much would that bottle be?
Try it.
This was given to me half full by a friend, so I don't actually know what he paid for it.
Fantastic, but probably more than 140, 120 or so. Because
would
single
imagine-
casks are expensive in
Yeah, I
France.
would imagine north of 100, but yeah,
Thank
I have
you.
no idea.
So for people who don't know, in the recipe, they use 5 different kind of 5 different kinds of malted barley. There is 5 different toastings,
The bar.
and they use chocolate malt as one of the barley variety they use. They also have brewery yeast. They do a lot of things. They were my, by the way, distillery of the year in 2016. They're getting more and more green. They're gonna get local peat. That for me, it's a fantastic distillery, and I had the chance to meet Matt Hoffman that year. And probably I had it between other whiskeys, but it was too much to really focus on it. So thank you very much, Johnny, for
Thank you,
making me
Johnny.
try.
You got
It's
it?
a fantastic whiskey, honestly.
It's fab.
Yeah. I still have some, so I'm happy to assess it later on. And I will give it a gold rate, for those who wonder.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you guess in the chat?
Got
Are you
blurred.
surprised in the chat?
My camera blurred out. What happened?
Your whiskey's too good, Johnny.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you guys see me blurred as well, or is it just me?
Yeah, you're a
Yeah,
bit blurry.
no, you're a bit blurry, Johnny.
Still handsome,
It will get focus eventually.
Yeah, still handsome. Yes, I agree.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
Thank
better.
you, Johnny. Thanks for that.
Thank you again.
I'm excited to try Greg's stuff now.
Yeah.
I recommend, because the ABV is lower for the first one, to really cleanse your palate. Maybe have a biscuits, and it's always difficult to make a succession in a tasting. People, when you don't know what the whiskeys are, the spirits are, anything. What is this called? So it can be tricky for the
Whiskey
whiskey.
trials.
Trials.
For instance, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to put the report, sorry, very soon on my website. I had an Abelauer dinner, which was fantastic. And at the end of this dinner, a gentleman brought us an exceptional whiskey from 1964, 25 years old only, but it's an old bottling, old style single malt, but it was bottled at 43%. And it came after a dessert and cask strength Abuna at 61.2. So we had maple syrup, mascarpone, and some hazelnut cake and stuff. And it literally ruined our palate for the last one.
Joking.
So make sure, if you know all the whiskeys, to try them first to see how they can fit if you do a blind tasting for someone else. This is exceptional. We don't know which the other whiskeys are, and we're trying 3 different, so it's a bit difficult, but it was an idea. It might not work. Okay, we're getting ready, guys, soon for the...
That was amazing, Greg.
And this isn't high ABV. It smells like it is.
No, mine, the one that's coming up is a lower ABV than this one. It's only
number 1. Obviously, we're starting on.
So we're trying now. Line number 1, yeah. Cheers, everybody. I'm going to change the file. So you didn't say the rating, Anthony and Nikki, if it's not too much whiskey for Johnny's one.
Definitely gold.
Silver. I find it hard.
Yeah, so we agree so far.
Very good then.
Okay, so guys, cheers.
He's been excited about this for a while.
It's very good so far. I'm very happy to do this with you guys.
And you, and where we are. And this isn't a high ABV.
No.
It's like the opposite to John's, isn't it?
So Daniel speaks for rum. I don't know what it means. Oh, La Maison du Whisky, yeah, they do some good things. They do sometimes some aggressive casks as well. So what can we see texture-wise, guys?
Yeah, it's like
so dark.
Dark.
And color, yeah.
It looks like rum to me.
Yeah.
It smells like rum.
Super oily. It's almost like a maple syrup.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, but not on the palate.
No.
I can smell it though. It smells like.
But there's a connection between the two lasts. That's why I wanted to do them, even if they're in some contradiction. You will see. And for the last one, there's a special wink to Johnny, but I cannot tell it right now. Looks like Coca-Cola, but I can guarantee you it is not, my friend Luna. And it's one of the best values on the market for me.
What are the legs like on it? Because we can't see it.
I love that nose. The nose is yelling something. I don't know if you can hear it, but...
Yeah, sherry cask.
Yeah.
Oh, you think? Let's see what Anthony
We
Nicky is.
rum. Rum.
Oh.
It's not as sweet as sugar.
I think there's no way you can say something else than... Yeah.
Greg's like dying to say something.
Rum, yeah. Okay, you guys are messing with my head now.
No. I think sometimes first intuition is the best one, but I don't want to give you clues.
Sweet. Sherry, I always think of sweet. It doesn't smell sweet. It's like syrupy.
For those who are very experienced in whiskey,
Almost like
I pick up
Yeah,
these.
you know that stuff that we used to have in our coffees that wasn't diet.
To say something, I will say.
Agave nectar.
Agave nectar.
So it's not sweet.
Yeah.
It's like maple syrup, but not maple syrup.
You know that? It's like that. That's
It's
the
not
colour
sweet.
as well, that dark.
Yeah.
It is, Luna.
Like syrupy. Mm.
It is a whiskey. Yeah, I'll give you a clue.
I've got dark fruit.
So-
Again, like dry.
Yeah, dark fruit. What kind of cask would you go for, guys? Johnny said something.
Has he got a finish on it? Yeah, it's definitely got a finish cask on it.
Is he keeping his idea or swapping to rum or something else, Johnny?
It's just not sweet.
Okay, so
Sherry wants to make quite sweet.
there's definitely. Oh, this is crazy. I made the mistake of making a quick assumption, and now that's stuck in my mind.
I'm not sure you made a mistake.
So there's Christmas cake, there's raisins, like soaked raisins, there's like stewed fruits.
Yeah. Like alcohol.
But as soon as you guys said rum, I'm also starting to get molasses for some reason.
It's treacle. I can get treacly. It's like a syrup, but not
Trickle,
sweet.
maybe, rather than molasses.
Like syrupy, but not sweet. That's what I'm getting.
There's no smoke in there, Luna. Maybe
No.
some wood charring, but I'm even not sure about that. It's more, I get so much oxidation in that. And that's why I picked up this and the following one. They have something in common, something not in common. And both are highlighting like hell for me the kind of cask they're mastering better than some that, and it's a clue, should master it. So it's a shame for them, and it's their pride. And it explains also the distillery's huge worldwide success.
Very good.
So I don't get PX, but I do get Oloroso.
It is, would you say the same, Anthony, Nikki?
I can see where you're coming from.
I
It's
personally
the not, almost like the not.
Not easy for
sweetness.
beginners, I
Yeah.
reckon.
Yeah.
Because it's a style we used to come across in the 70s and 80s from a certain distillery, but it is not this distillery, and it's even more brave from them to match this style, and that's why I like this so much, and a certain brand so much less. It's because that certain brand isn't able to do like this anymore, while these guys do that.
Can we taste it? See if we can.
Yeah, sure.
The raisins keep coming. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they are.
So do you want
they're
me-
like alcohol-soaked raisins, aren't they? You know when you say
Do you
Christmas
want me
cake, I
to
can't even
tell
say
you
it.
the cask type?
Yeah. No. It's like.
Do you want you to tell? Sorry. Shall I tell you the cask type and the ABV, or would you guess an ABV?
Let's try it first.
Okay. Go ahead. Cheers.
Mm.
High Seeker Skipper.
Raisins
Good
and
guessing,
sultanas.
but it's not, and it's not French either.
Raisins and sultanas and that Christmas cake
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
straight away. That's like eating cake.
Yeah. Wow.
And I think that's why I'm thinking treacle. Like my mum always used to put molasses in Christmas cake. It is.
Ah.
Stunning.
It was like having a mouthful of
That is stunning.
Yeah.
alcohol plumped.
Yeah, very good notes from Nikki. I agree with
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Plum, hazelnut, everything. There's also a connection with Anthony and Nikki, but they don't know yet, and they will learn very soon. Why?
Okay.
I pick up this one.
I almost get that what's it
God, it's so easy to drink.
Yeah. Cheers, Guillaume. Maybe you could look at the rest on the
It's not marzipan.
replay.
It's yellow. It's almonds.
So anybody in the chat have guessing for this one? Good night, Chris. People leaving the chat.
I think I'll stick with my original guess, which was a PX cask, because I'm getting more and more raisins.
Yeah,
Uh,
raisins are definitely there.
I think 43%.
43, you said?
43.
How much?
Yeah, I'd say less than we originally thought. Now I've tasted it. So easy to drink.
Yes, it is easy to
So nice.
I'm glad you like it. Do you like it, Johnny, or
Really lovely.
frankly?
It's not my preference. I think it's very good. It's not something I would drink.
Okay, you might try with a few.
Yeah.
Not
Drink a
much.
lot. Did you say it was well priced, Greg?
Well, it's not cheap, But
Yeah.
for what it is, for what it
What it
delivers,
is.
and
Yeah.
for what it can be compared to, mostly, it is a good price.
Oh, opens up lots of apples.
Yeah, baked on the oven for a long time, hazelnuts and a lot of things. And it's typical for me, the Rancho, from this kind of sherry. Yes, it's sherry casks, but it's not PX. It's typical for me, Oloroso.
Right.
Beautiful Oloroso cask, as almost no one can pick up for me except a few rare distilleries from some countries. No, it's well, I can answer yet to Storo, because I want you to make a guess, guys, before I answer. Yeah, fruit sherry, nuts.
Cream. It gets a lot creamier with water.
And like,
Yeah, you get
there's
some
like
clues on the
brown
chat,
sugar.
but I'm not sure you will be helped a lot. Because there's a point these guys are missing, but they cannot know.
I don't get apples. I can't get apples.
Would you go
Definitely
for
cream.
what kind of whiskey would you go, guys? Whiskey type.
I have no idea. I'm not
No.
I think it's like opened up with water. You get the
There's
cream
nice
in it
guessing there, but
and a hint of like.
none of these are right.
That's
Yeah, is it what's it called? Abuna?
No, but it's a single malt. You agree, Anthony, Nikki, it's a single malt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you told us that.
This point is correct. Second one is not. It's Abelau. Maybe you should ask other questions.
Is it a common brand, like a?
Oh, yeah.
Would we know the brand as?
Yeah, and it's in the core range, which is even more amazing. I'm lucky to have this in my super local supermarket, which should be called hypermarket, as big as the whiskey shelves are. Imported by La Maison du Whisky.
There's a bit of oak
Yes.
in there. It's coming through with water, so I would say it has some age, and also all the characters are quite intertwined. So I think probably like 18 years old, maybe 16, 18.
I'm glad to hear that. You don't know how. Why? How about you, Anthony and Nikki?
I'm more interested on the ABV because it's
46.
It's 46.
Did I
46. Okay.
To answer to Luna, yes, they have, but I don't know now if there are still the Glendronach 18. Some say the batches from 2008 have 24 years old in there. Please check out Rob Whiskey in the Six video about, he had a live with a special Glendronach, which is fantastic. You all have to search for that one, in my opinion.
So I'm glad it's not Glendronach then. That's what.
No, it's not Glendronach. And for those also who wonder, some old Glendronach 12 years old bottles, like I have, used to have 18 years old stuff in there. I was told by Billy Walker himself. And it's not Abelau, like I said. And there's another question you should ask. So you talked about the age. It's not 18 years old. How much would you say, Anthony, Nikki? Age?
so easy
16.
to drink. I'm gonna say at least. I was gonna say 15, but
15 or 16.
yeah, that's good.
How about if I was saying to you, you want to know?
Go on.
Go on, is it older?
2 years old.
It's a no age
Yeah.
statement.
Oh,
It's a no age statement, but about what we know about what the distillery communicates, it is probably between 4 and 6 years old.
Wow.
But
That's crazy.
there's a reason for that. You feel it's 3 or 4 times more
Yeah.
It's because it's might be not a. I let you finish the sentence. So it's not Abelau, it's not Glendronach, it's not Benromach, it's not Adrodau, it's not. I can also tell you it's not Glenfarclas. It's not Macallan, but it puts Macallan into shame for me. And to have that quality of cask of sherry, you have to pick up 300 euros Macallan to even reach that. It's just my opinion.
Kavalan?
Bingo! Because it's tropical.
Yeah.
And tropical climate makes things age with an angel share of 14 to 16%. So it feels much older than what it is.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
How much is that then, Greg?
Sorry?
How much is that? A bottle?
89 euros here.
Right.
So maybe about 75, 80 pounds, something like that. So a no-age statement, sherry oak matured, 46%, not colored as they mentioned, not here, but I heard it's not colored. It's probably chill filtered. And just to let you know, the cask strength version of it, the Solist, won several times the World Whisky Awards and other competitions over Scottish whiskey.
That is awesome.
And
good.
I didn't have it home because it's 150 or 70, and there's even versions at 300 euros. But they're absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I rated this one. Let me check. 94 out of 100. While the cask strength version, I gave it a 97. And they do other kinds of things as well. So
I'm
the
giving
chap
that a
might be
gold.
surprised.
That's getting a gold from me. That is gorgeous.
Ah!
So nice.
Interesting. So it's not the same?
It's
not
the
the same.
Solist.
Oh, so it's even better. But maybe less sweeter than this one.
Probably,
So
yeah.
are you surprised, Anthony and Nikki?
So surprised.
You've
That
never
was
had a
gorgeous.
Kavalan before?
No, that's good.
Oh, that's why I thought maybe when you talked about what is a Macallan from the 70s and or very old,
Yeah.
I would say it's this thing, aromatic
Yeah.
style-wise, but with more depth, of
Yeah.
course.
That was
But
stunning.
it's close
Really
to
good.
this style.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Absolutely lovely.
Loved it. Thank you.
Thank you for
You're
sharing.
very welcome. Daniel said, "Where is your supermarket?" Yeah, it's 10 minutes from my place, and it's very dangerous.
Just
Do
pop
they
down the
deliver?
corner and get a bowl.
So
Cheers.
good.
Thank you. Honestly, that was
So good.
stunning. That was
Yeah.
gorgeous.
We didn't get a
Beautiful.
lot because we have to share it, don't we?
Brilliant.
So, what rate will give this?
Oh, definitely gold.
Gold.
From me.
All the way.
I will
Thank
give
you,
the
Johnny.
I'll give it a gold, but
But your Solist, you have tried it already? You have opened it already, Johnny? The
this one I
bottles?
haven't opened. No, I've had it for years.
Oh yeah, so that's why you guessed maybe the brand and also what I said.
Well, also the fact that it's so young, and it has this color, and it has a lot of oak on it.
Yeah. But last but not least,
God, that was a good
are you ready? You tell me. Take your time for the last one.
Final dram.
Laying out front. Alex.
This smells amazing.
The color is even darker, or a little bit less maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
I will give you 2 clues at some point. So while the Kavalan was a bit dedicated to Anthony and Nikki, a bit dedicated to Anthony
Amazing
and Nikki,
legs on it.
Yeah, really good legs.
the last one is a bit dedicated with a wink to Johnny.
I can smell that. This makes me
Don't
happy.
tell if you guessed already, please. You might.
So I old or high ABV?
On the phone on the subway? I don't understand. Okay, cheers, Daniel. I missed what he said.
Right, so educate me. Legs, what am I looking for? So
Yeah.
this isn't moving very much. What does that mean?
That means it's fat and it's old.
Okay.
And I have to check something now because I don't remember.
It's not moving. I thought, look, really slow. Look at that. You can see it. No.
Yeah, the longer it sits, it's an indication of like the more oily it is. So the faster it will start to trickle down, the thinner it will suggestively feel in the mouth.
And
So
and the
fatter
whiskey,
and slower means older.
No, not
But-
well. It could.
Older and more ABV, maybe. It depends.
Higher ABV, yeah.
This one doesn't state if it's chill filtered or not. Hadn't add water in terms of ice or very cold water. It will be a crime for this one. But I will guess it's not chill filtered. And I think it's not colored because the brand doesn't like the color, as I think.
So really, from looking at the legs, you can just discern that it's either old or high ABV. You can't really nail down which one of those it is.
Oh my God. I love that one so much. What do you get on the nose?
Just sugar, vanilla,
Oh,
raisins.
And there's a
again.
real
At the
there's
start,
another smell.
At the start, I had a little bit of almost like a turpentine kind of smell.
There's a spirit smell to
But-
me.
yeah, there's a bit of solvent in it.
That seems to have gone
Solvents,
now
yeah.
as it's
Yeah.
as it's breathing.
I have to check a translation of just a minute, guys, but I'm still hearing you.
There's a
Butterscotch,
dried fruit.
lots of vanilla,
Yeah.
orange peel.
Dried fruit. Yeah,
Okay.
orange peel. Absolutely. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
get
I'll
that.
say
Definitely.
tangerines, like the sweet tangerine.
No, I think it's the peel. I wouldn't have got it if you hadn't have said it. You know the oil you get in the peel?
When you twist
Yeah.
it.
Like a fresh old fashioned right in front.
Yeah,
Definitely,
that's it.
definitely.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have got that if you hadn't have said it, but the minute you said it, my brain just went, yeah, that's what
It
the smell
actually
is.
smells like
An old-fashioned, yeah. It's the orange.
It's almost like you've got.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not an
something I
orange,
didn't
it's
thought
the
of
it.
citrus, it's the oil.
Yeah, it's almost
Yeah.
like you got the bitters in
Yeah,
there and
yeah.
everything.
My pour was very generous.
Yours was huge.
Jealous.
Just remember, we're sharing here, so we've got little.
I love you guys. You know that.
There's a lot of toffee on the nose as well.
Amazing, because I didn't notice that. And
Like a
it's so
toffee.
complex.
Like a toffee
Yeah,
apple.
No, I can't get that.
Do you have a guess of age and ABV yet?
High.
I think ABV around 50 maybe.
Yeah,
I
high.
was going to say over 50.
Do you want an answer now?
52.
Just over 50, I don't know why.
Last word for Johnny, from Johnny.
Taste it first.
Yeah, cheers.
Cold.
Let me check.
Very bad, huh?
Greg, what have you done to us, mate? That's stunning.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting honey with a tang of something else. Oh, what's
Some
that tang?
spices.
There's a
yeah.
tang, yeah. I don't know what it is, I just can't pinpoint it.
Okay, I tell you it's 48% ABV.
Oh,
How about that?
Right.
48.
Yeah.
what's that tang?
And another clue, it is said cast strength, which surprises me a bit, but not so much when knowing what it is. And the age.
It's almost like a.
There's a tang, and I can't.
There's a link between this one and the previous one.
I was
It's
gonna
not
say-
necessary.
Balsamic, yeah, like a balsamic
Is it
balsamic
tang?
vinegar kind of.
I agree.
to it.
Yeah.
There's a bit also in the previous one. It's typical sherry, but is it sherry this time? Good question.
I would say I get a little bit more, because the previous one, it just, all of that raisin just make me think about PX. But this one here, I feel like there's a lot more kind of that Oloroso, like aromatic thing around the tongue on the mid palate.
Yeah.
But
you see why I put this one after the other,
I
Johnny.
think it's more like, almost like, I don't know.
You see why I put this one after the other?
Lime, that kind of like,
Getting more depth.
It could be there is a spice there. There's a tang.
It's almost like
I feel like not aniseed, but there's a something, and I don't know what it is.
The hot Christmas drink you have.
Oh, like mulled wine.
Like a
Quick,
mulled
Johnny.
wine.
Spicy.
Yeah, like a mulled
It's not
wine,
spicy.
kind of, and like star anise,
There's a
kind
lovely
of
tang to that.
winey, kind of fruity wine.
Somebody's going to
Look
say
at the
the
bouquet
word,
garden.
and I'm going to go. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Something a bit sour, yeah. Sour.
Yeah, there is
a
Cherries, a bit
tang.
sour cherries. There's also a note that I cannot really translate. I looked again, and it's hard to. I wrote down a note that I had struggled to translate, but I will try
Maybe it is the cherries.
later on.
yeah, it's like
I
black
forget what
cherry.
things like that taste like. I haven't eaten cherries
Yeah,
for
and
so
I
long.
get some oak. There's a lot of oak, but it's so intricated in the fruits and the
It is, yeah.
ripe
It's not
fruits. And
oak.
Yeah.
It's like oak and
Solvent
something else intertwined. Maybe it's cherries.
What the
It
hell
is
is
actually quite sweet. No, when you
Is it good to start
when you
with?
have an old fashioned.
I enjoy it, but I will say, because I'm not a huge personal fan of things that taste too much like cherries or sherry. So the aftertaste is not something that I'm super fond of, but everything else I think is brilliant.
Is something? Can you do a relationship between this and bourbons? I'm curious of.
I mean, the nose initially is all bourbon. Like this smells like bourbon.
Interesting.
I'm confused whether or not this is bourbon or not.
Do you think it
What'd
was
you
in a
say,
bourbon
Anthony?
cask? So it's something that's been in a bourbon cask for a length of time.
I'm not getting all the, bourbon. I always get like the toffee and the honey and the vanilla-y. I'm not getting that. There is a tang, and I think maybe the cherries. I haven't eaten cherries in such a long time because I'm allergic to them. I'm wondering if that's.
There's no cherries in it. Don't worry,
No.
Nikki.
Oh,
I would say a
You want me to
bourbon
answer
cask
on the-
and then
Sorry?
into a sherry cask or something like that.
it's not sweet enough. I don't think it's
So,
as sweet.
what
as
shall I
that.
answer to? The cask type, or
Yeah, go on.
it's not sherry?
I think the Kavalan bourbon cask.
No, no, no. It's not sherry. It's not.
It's not sweet.
It's French oak,
French oak.
French oak.
not French Coke. French oak. French.
You Parisians do like to party.
Oh, not me so much. Now, any type of
No.
what kind of thing it is?
I'm completely lost. Like this is all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's
There's
not-
something you guys might not have noticed, and it's a clue with our communication together, and also what I wrote under the live. There's a word I didn't pronounce or wrote on purpose, and it's because of this one. So I talked about drams, and then the wink to Johnny is because he's doing his WSET, and he said in one of his videos he wanted to learn more about something.
Johnny,
Oh
you-
gosh, that could have been anything.
So well,
Video,
let's
Johnny. Come
let's
on.
drop off some regions or type of what it is according to you guys, space side, etc. Or even something else.
Not being funny, but Johnny should know this.
Johnny is supposed to study this.
So, well, that's the
Sorry.
challenge. I haven't had a chance to study. So this is my study time right now. I will say though, one thing I do remember is like the combination of peat and sherry cask is something that I want to try more of, but I don't get any peat.
Oh, no, you spoke about something else because you spoke about what you prefer. You spoke about bourbons and then Scottish whiskies, and so maybe you should ask questions about the area.
Ah, I see.
Not Isla at all.
And when I say area,
Australian wine cask.
no, and when I say area, it's the biggest clue you can have.
Area.
It's not only area, probably. To start with, I talked about having 4 grams.
Islands.
It's not
Lowlands,
Isla.
It's not a Scotch.
Campbelltown, Space
Australian.
Island.
It's not a Scotch, and maybe it's not as well. Sorry, I've been tricky for that one. Very tricky.
I can see you like.
Japanese.
But it has something in common with the previous one.
Japanese.
It's not a question of a country, even if I gave you a clue without wanting it about the cask. It's new oak that has been toasted because I think they are obliged to. I can give you a clue. It has been distilled only one time. And you didn't guess the age. How old do you think? How old do you think it is?
It's got legs on it, hasn't it? What was the ABV again, Greg?
48.
So it's not that high. Not that high.
But it said it's distilled at. It's a continuous still, which surprises me. And it's distilled at 53% ABV. It's absolutely crazy. For me, it's my bottle of wow. My second one. My first one is the CP12 for the whiskey. And for another category, it's this one. So yeah, it is not a whiskey. It is not a whiskey, guys. Sorry.
It's old, isn't it?
23 years old.
Oh.
Yeah.
And yeah, Chris is right.
What is it?
Well, let me. It's an Armagnac from
Armagnac.
1990.
Oh, right.
And it's a special domain of Armagnac, Domaine de Bertruc, chose by Darroze, which one of the best brands ever, who picks up that Armagnac.
I don't even know if I've tried Armagnac.
No, it's
on its own.
I knew you might have not guessed it, but it was to make you understand this is distilled wine,
Yeah.
but it's not fortified wine. We had fortified wine before with the sherry, and this time you have unfortified wine distilled only once.
Okay.
But you can see with 23 years old and high ABV, it can still be very expressive, very fruity.
Yeah.
A bit more on the bitter side. If you add water, you will have some bitterness. And also on the edge of being too oaky, but still for 23 years old, I think it could pass for whiskey.
Yeah.
And if you taste some, the end of the thing I wanted to say is that if you taste some old whiskeys, 40 years old, 50 years old, Glen Grants, Macallans, some Glenfarclasses, you might come across those kind of tasting notes. That's why I wanted to make you discover this, even if it's a different spirit.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I wouldn't have picked up that it wasn't whiskey, to be honest.
I knew it felt that it was old.
Yeah.
And I'd not tasted anything like it before, so forgive us for that.
But we're picking up
No problem.
Yeah.
We're picking up on that it's old because of what we've learned from the legs and things like that. So
But Johnny said in one of these videos, he wanted to study other spirits.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There's your
And
fault.
from France and from other. There you have it.
That was lovely. Really nice.
That's amazing. Yeah, I just bought an Armagnac picked by the Heliac group the other
Okay.
day from what's it called? Lanicante? What's it called? The orange, the one that do the smaller bottles. Lenacante or something, I think they're called.
L'Encantada. L'Encantada. It's hard
Probably,
to
yes.
spell. Yeah, with the orange label as well.
Yeah.
I tried one. They're very good. But
Yeah,
Chris
I
was
bought all of
right
those.
because Chris tried to started to try Armagnacs and cognacs for his channel.
Well done, Chris.
Chris was the first to get. Well done.
Well done, Chris. Cognac show.
Well, I hesitated between a cognac and an Armagnac, to be honest, guys. But I thought this one could go well after the Cavalan, which had a lot of character.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Very
excellent.
nice.
I love it.
Really good.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that experience with us, because that's not something we have on our shelf.
No, I know. You're very welcome. But, well,
Yeah, thank
this
you.
is... you will try others if you come visit me. I'm 35 years old, which is different as well.
Yeah.
But this one, I thought it was good after the Cavalan.
Yeah, very much
This
so.
is brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, really.
I'm gonna
Did
buy
you
some.
expect it not to
We
be a
saved
whiskey,
a little
honestly?
bit as well, so we can have some later on.
Yeah.
I can send you some more, guys. You know that. So did you at some point thought it could be something else than a whiskey? Honestly,
Never. No, I didn't.
I was just confused. So now I know why I was confused. But
Confusing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't pick it. And also, Greg, I thought we agreed that these were going to be all whiskeys. So in my mind, it's like there's no way. It has to be a whiskey.
yeah, I'm sorry about that. But with my communication since a few days, I never wrote down, like I said, whiskeys, but drams, which is okay, normally related to whiskey. But I did
Nice.
trick you
Give us
there.
some
Apologies
ideas.
for that. But it's
That's
also
all right.
a
I love it.
discovery.
It was good to have the conversations, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. So a question of discovering things, and I was expected too some tricky things, and honestly the Westland, I didn't expect it to have that profile. It's a distillery I love, so it's a very good pick of you. First pick was very good as well because I know only the pitted expressions of Cubocan, so no, fantastic. I think it went very well. I don't know about the chat what they think, but
Interesting drinks.
Hit the like button, guys. Where's
Yeah.
Luna? Hit the like button.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, Luna is asking if you're gonna visit me in Paris. Well, I hope so.
Oh.
I think we need to try and work it out where we have a big meet-up in Paris where everybody comes.
Yes.
I think it's
Golden Promise.
definitely a place to everyone
you know
to
the place?
congregate.
I met the guy from Golden Promise at the Abelard dinner. He said, "Come visit us." I say, "Okay, but I gotta have some money because 150 euros, some good drams."
And you need 2 more tickets, clearly.
Three.
Well, you guys are very busy since June, right? So, Anthony, and Nikki,
Yeah, I mean,
so
once our daughter's wedding is out of the way,
I can't think past June.
wish you a great wedding for your daughter, and then
you.
we will see. And I think Luna's going to visit me before that.
Is she cool? Well, we'll try and we'd love to meet
Cross
you.
fingers
so
because
good.
it was postponed as well as this live. And finally, we get to make this live, and we all. I'm happy to have you guys. You're fantastic. I hope you're the best
Thank
for
you
your
for
channel.
inviting us.
This was
And,
great. Awesome.
Great.
One last word before we quit. We still have a few minutes if you like. Finish our glass for those who want.
Thanks,
Or
too nice. We've finished.
it develops. It needs time as well because it's a bit old, and also the bottle is at that level, so it's not. But it expresses very well, and honestly,
Doesn't need that much time.
I haven't tried other. I have tried other Darros brand Armagnacs. They take from families. They sell them the best casks, and then they continue to mature in their warehouses. And They even do age statements, 20, 30, 40. The 50 one is awesome, 50 years old.
Mm.
I don't have it home. This one, you want to know the price of this one?
Yeah, how much is it?
Let's guess it, guys.
I would say 250.
It's an old stock they had in their shelves. It was bottled in 2013, and still on the shelf. I got the last bottles, 2 last bottles, 69 euros. Yeah.
Is that the same off license?
96.4 out of 100 for me.
Wow.
But I know sometimes I rate high, so will be probably an 88 for Serge Valentin, something like that, which is very good as well.
True though, like Armagnac is still much cheaper than cognac, and you can find a lot of similarities.
Except for some brands, you're absolutely right, and I see some beautiful bottles at crazy prices. You can have 100 euros, you can have 30 years old, which sometimes beats many single malts of that age.
Yeah.
Same for cognac. Well, now there's some flipping about cognac, so the prices are going high too. Depends on the brands as well. Sometimes you got nice XOs, AK around 10 years old. Cognacs for around 60 or 80 euros. So then after it's a different thing. If you want to have this, this is more craft stuff. But if you get to the big brands, the prices are higher. There's caramel coloring and stuff, chill filtering, and the ABV will be 40. So it's often disappointing.
Yeah.
But,
the process is different. Now it makes sense. It's you said single distilled, because Armagnac is made on like very short column still.
Yeah.
So
and low ABV for the cask filling as well.
Yeah.
Well, it's 2 times distilled for those who don't know. The cognac is 2 times distilled, while the Armagnac is 1 time only.
Yeah.
And there's 300 kilometers between the 2 areas that are protected, the Armagnac one and the cognac one.
Okay.
But if you come to Paris, I will make you try some cognacs that are stunning as well.
We will be there one day, Greg. We will be there. When's Luna visiting you?
I think it's June normally, if she can make it.
Yeah.
We had the strike. Normally she would have gone in December, but the heavy strike, which is not finished, but sorry, they had to stop the everyday strike. We won't talk on politics on YouTube. I talk politics on Twitter and got a lot of troubles with that. So yeah, hard times still for the French. Scandals and stuff. But yeah, for the best, we have at least cognac, Armagnac, and single malts as well. I could have put here a single malt from a French distillery. I thought of it, but at the last time I switched for that because sorry to be tricky with you guys.
You just wanted to trick us.
Yeah.
Now Johnny has one more tasting for his WSET.
Oh yeah.
And maybe he's gonna dig further in Armagnacs now. Who knows?
How long does it take you to pass, Johnny?
Sorry?
How long does it take, the whole course?
So it's a week. So I've signed up for like a week intensive course, but I have to finish there's like a study book ahead of that. So yeah, I have to take a week off work just to do the course.
Wow. Okay. You're doing that so that you can like go into a career doing it, or is it just for your kind of YouTube and to expand that kind of thing?
Honestly, I thought I was gonna do a full-on career, but now I think I've just I pushed it out a little bit. So it's just a passion, to be honest. It's just a passion, and I like sharing the journey. So for me, the podcast and stuff like that I do, just the blind tasting, it's just for me personally. Yeah. If anyone wants to watch and listen, that's great. But yeah. I've slowed back, and I'm basically non-existent on Twitter these days, and even on Instagram, where I used to post almost every day. right now it's maybe posting twice a week max.
Yeah.
Good.
So it's more about just the tasting and just exploring. So
Good.
it will
Sorry,
change
guys.
eventually.
Yeah.
Got a question, sorry guys, by Dram Drops Drummer. Yes, you can have 8 years old, 20 years old Darros, same brand that we had tonight. You can have also Chateau de Lobad, but there's more caramel and stuff in it, but still is very good. There's other brands, Lero, but it's more expensive. I will probably do a special video about other spirits soon, so you will learn more. Otherwise, yeah, you can go visit websites, French websites, distilleries, and also Serge Valentin, Whiskey Fun. He does also Armagnac and Cognacs reviews, so have a look on it, maybe. I have to find back, yeah. So there you have it, guys. Yeah, Chris said, yeah, the wine for Armagnac is less drinkable than the one for Cognac. But sometimes I forgot which one is the right. So can't say 100%, but one of those two, yeah, is good as a wine and the other is not.
Yeah.
I have to check it out again and maybe put it out under the description after this. But anyway, yeah, you can see there's a connection because it's wine distilled once again, while the others are fortified wine. And again, we were guessing at the beginning some port, which is also a fortified wine. Mm. So these kinds of things are related in a way or another to whiskey. And also have to point out that first Armagnac finish was made by a French company, Celtic Whiskey Company, back in the early 2000s, where they were importing Speyside whiskies especially, and they finished them in Armagnac casks. Nobody did that before. Then after, I know there's some distilleries from Scotland did that. I have a whiskey to assess currently, which is a bit mysterious. It's a very special thing. I need some time, and it's finished in Armagnac, and it's Scottish. But spoiler, you'll know more about that when you'll be ready to be tasted. There you go. I think how much time? 1 hour and a half and 42 minutes. One last word maybe from each one, please, and we'll say bye-bye after that. Okay. Anthony and Nikki, what this experience, what do you conclude?
We're kind of learning every time we do one of these. It's nice to be able to do it with two experts that can guide us through our kind of journey. We're not very good at it, but we kind of try and feel our way through it.
Some nice remarks. No, I don't agree.
It's not our kind of our go-to kind of thing that we do.
Being part of it.
We enjoy being a part of it, and we enjoy being asked, and we appreciate being asked, and we will do many more if we get invited. Thank you.
Yeah, we do. We can do in private as well, like we did with Anthony and Nikki. We can do with Johnny whenever you want.
Absolutely.
And thank you for turning us on to Cavalan.
Yeah, Cavalan.
Cavalan.
It's the one thing to talk about.
Oh, yes.
I'm not paid by any brand tonight and other nights as well.
No sponsorship.
Just sharing my love for good things.
Yeah, so good. Yeah.
And just thank you for having us, Greg. It was a pleasure.
I thank you for being there and for your surprising tomatin, and also Johnny, that fantastic Westland. So take care, guys. See you in your channels. Again, Spirits People for Johnny and New Dram Drinker for Anthony and Nikki. Please follow these guys. They're doing great, teaching you about whiskey and spirits and cocktails for New Dram Drinker. Don't forget that. So complete experience. And see you soon, guys. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Love you all. Love you guys. Bye-bye in the chat as well.
Bye, guys.
Cheers. Okay, and